Yo, what's happening, boxing world and fight fans around the world? B Marsh with another boxing video. So, the man, George Groves, he might be, he's in this World Boxing Super Series tournament in the super middleweight division, and so is Chris Eubank Jr. And Chris Eubank Jr. is going to be fighting some guy from Turkey. I don't know who. I don't know his name. Don't get me started with his name. And they're going to be fighting in September. That's when the tournament starts. And George Groves will be facing a fellow guy from England by the name of Jamie Cox. You know what I mean? So, excuse me. The man. What's the name? Chris Eubank just came off a nice victory. You know what I'm saying? A nice career-defining victory over Arthur Abraham. You know what I mean? Winning most of the rounds. I had it 10 rounds to 2 in favor of him. Some might have even have it a whitewash. All in all, the man Chris Eubank dominated, regardless of how many rounds you gave King Art, if you gave him any. So, George Groves was a commentator for the ITV pay-per-view where Chris Eubank and Abraham fought. And they did speak after the fight, and the man, Chris Eubank Jr., is basically saying that, this guy, George Groves, is worried that he may face him in the next round, you know what I'm saying? After George Groves if he does get through Jamie Cox, and Chris Eubank, if he does get through the Turkish guy he's going to fight, then they'll meet each other in January, you know what I'm saying? And the man, Chris Eubank Jr., is basically saying this guy is worried about that matchup, And, he might be worried. These two guys have history. They spar together, you know what I'm saying? But, the man, George Groves, he has some words for the man, Chris Eubank Jr., He basically says that Chris Eubank Jr. is kind of limited and has no punching power, you know what I'm saying? But, that's just part of that's the way he fights, you know what I'm saying? I mean, if the man doesn't have punching power, well, he at least has honest power. That's one thing for sure. Two things for certain I could say, He doesn't hit quite as hard as George Groves, in my opinion. George Groves could punch, you know what I mean? You seen what he did to Carl Froch in that first fight, But for him to say that the man is limited, Chris Eubank Jr., in my opinion, I think Chris Eubank Jr. has a good defense, man. You see, the man from a young boy went out to Vegas to train with fellas like Mike McCollum. That's why he throws them body shots, He's trained with Floyd Sr. That's why he keeps that shoulder roll tight, you know what I'm saying? You seen what this guy, Chris Eubank Jr., was doing with King Art in the 11th round, man. The man was on some drunken master ninja stuff, You know what I'm saying? Just basically, enticing the man with his hands down, you know what I'm saying? He had his hands down and he was bending his waist and basically, creeping in and landing shots while having his hands down and looking like some old drunken master type of style, So George Groves, in my opinion, man, this fight is not an easy fight for him. And, I could easily see this guy, Chris Eubank, I could see him winning this fight, if he keeps a tight defense. George Groves, in my opinion, the fight he had versus that kid, Shudanov, in the last fight, I was happy he finally got a world title, after numerous tries, after 3 tries, but it wasn't like he dominated every single minute of that particular fight with Shudanov, Shudanov was the aggressive fighter, you know what I'm saying, and eventually it cost him. He kind of gassed out and he basically, he let his whole gas tank empty, you know what I'm saying? But a guy like Chris Eubank Jr., you know what I'm saying? I think this guy has good stamina, you know what I'm saying? We've seen that in the Billy Joe Saunders fight. He came on strong at the end of that fight while Billy Joe Saunders gassed up and, he almost lost the fight because Chris Eubank Jr. pushed the pedal to the metal. And I think Chris Eubank Jr., if he sparred with George Groves, and these guys have history together, and, I'm sure he's gonna know he knows what to do in order to beat him, and vice versa for George Groves. But George Groves talking about the man is limited and has no punching power. Well, that alone right there, him saying that doesn't make him the favorite in my opinion, because in my opinion, Chris Eubank Sr. Jr. has improved. You know what I mean? He's improved. I mean, if the guy didn't have was a light puncher, I don't think he would have put Nick Blackwell. Almost make Nick Blackwell a vegetable, you know what I'm saying? Put him in the hospital with a coma. This guy's a hellacious body puncher. You know what I'm saying? George Groves, I do admit, hits harder, I mean, he's taking out world-class fighters to put him on the canvas, you know what I'm saying? You know, he does have a victory over James DeGale, although I thought it was a close fight. But you know, Chris Eubank Jr., in my opinion, is steadily improving. You know, and him saying that, you know, that little conversation they had after the fight on our TV was a little you know, wasn't the most friendly. You know, even the commentators who were interviewing Chris Eubank Jr. for the post-fight interview, man, they were being kind of condescending. You know, they were being asking him stupid questions, and Chris Eubank Jr., man, hey, this guy snapped back, man. He clapped back at these commentators. I can't quite remember what they said. You know, I watched it the day of, and you know, I ain't got no, you know, so it didn't have no rewinding and things, so I couldn't rewind and hear what they said. You know what I mean? It's not like I got it on my DVR. Maybe I'll look it up after I do this video, you know. But they were being condescending. But Chris Eubank Jr. and his pops, man, they put these guys in their place, and they basically said, you know, Chris Eubank Sr. said anybody who is not participating in this super middleweight World Series of Boxing tournament is suspect. And I agree, you know what I'm saying? I definitely agree. You see a guy like David Benavidez is in play for that WBC belt versus the dog Anthony Durrell. You know, I would have liked to see these guys in the tournament, but you know, they fight for the WBC belt. Neither is Zudo Ramirez in that, so it's only right that the winners of this tournament, whether it's David Benavidez versus the dog, they should fight the winner of Zudo Ramirez versus whoever the fuck he's supposed to be fighting next. You know what I'm saying? And the winner of this tournament, this World Boxing Super Series, should meet the winner of the dog and Durrell, the dog Durrell's and Benavidez fight when they meet the winner of Zudo and whoever he fights. So that'll be a unification. So that unification bout will lead to a unification bout with the winner of this Super Series. Point blank, period, man. That's how it should go, you know, because some of these contestants are not in it, but they shouldn't be exempt or be hiding or not face the rigorous schedule of this tournament. You know what I'm saying? So B Marsh Boxing, let me know what y'all think about Chris Eubank Jr.'s statements towards George Groves. You think George Groves is worried about him? Who would you favor in that particular fight? I think it's a great domestic English fight, you know what I'm saying? And hopefully we shall see it come January if these two guys advance in the first round. B Marsh Boxing, leave your thoughts and comments. And thanks for listening. Peace.